Hey everyone, there's some clicking sounds that may or may not end up in this video. I'm doing a voiceover with another program. This was my use of my camera for the first time when I bought up in Connecticut, strapped to my chest. And the clicking will fade in a few minutes. And as you'll see, I think it's because the camera was knocking against my life jacket. As you'll see, I'm about to launch and catch it on film. And it was not completely successful, but it wasn't a total disaster. The waves were fairly low today, and I thought I could catch it right between, and yet I managed to get one that was not letting me out. You'll see that in a second. So I'm going to jump in after the next one takes by. I'm walking it out to about my knees in water. I'll let this one pass by. I lift the kayak a little bit so it gets underneath. And now I pop in, and I didn't think this wave was going to form as fast as it did. Sometimes you get fooled. So now I'm jumping in and I'm starting to stroke. And you'll see I didn't catch this wave right. It crested right before it needed to. If I'd been 5 feet farther out, I wouldn't have had a problem. But you'll see it pushes me all the way back. I go sideways. I use my oar as a rudder. I knew at this point I had a problem. I thought I was going to get tipped over, but here we go. So now I'm going sideways with my oar as a rudder, broaching it sideways, and that's fine. I'm riding it on in. Pushed me all the way to the shore. Normally I would get out here and try again, but I just decided I'd just stay in the boat, start paddling again, watch the waves, and see if I could pick my opening. They were not big. Again, these are not big waves. And you usually see the ones that I try to get out when they're larger. I have to really wait. I wait 10 or 15 minutes sometimes to catch them between sets. But the tide had already crested. It was going out. This was not a big deal. And you'll see when I come back, I catch my landing, and it's very simple. No problem at all. So now I'm actually on the sand. I'm pushing off with my oar to get back in the water. I should have just gotten out, but I didn't. And now we start stroking again and wait to see what happens. We got a few white waters that are already coming in. And then the last one that I do get by, I thought, it's the same story, but I got there in time just as it was cresting, which I thought I could do with the first wave. And you'll see I get past that, but there's a lot of... You'll see sometimes it's not as simple as it looks. I'm paddling not as hard as I can because I'm watching. I'm waiting to see if I should stop or wait. Now I decided to keep going. So now here we go. Bam. Just enough to get over it. Had it been another, foot higher and another 3 seconds before, I'd have probably been back to the shore again. So now I'm free of that, and I'm past the surf line. I'm just making sure that I get out there safely. You'll hear me huffing and puffing in a few seconds. You can't hear sound through this box that's on my chest. It's waterproof. Just a little bit. Yeah, huffing, puffing. Takes a little bit of effort to get out there. Thank goodness the water was calm. Many times in the afternoon the wind picks up and it's not easy to get through. So I usually try to go in the mid-morning. And of course I've got a curfew. I've got to be back to my house by 2. I talked to the police station. They said, as long as you're back by 2, you can go out kayak because you're not hurting anybody. So that was... Now I turn it around just to show where I came from and point to my the beach that I came from, the RCB. So off we go. Now the next one is... a nice slice this together. This is me sitting in the kayak, and I'm going to do a 360 so you can see where we are. This is just the shoreline. I've gone out a couple more 100 yards, and I'm slowly going around. Very usually these boats they're not normally out here, but with the curfew, I think everyone's trying to get out as fast as they can and just do some little bit of fishing. So now we're looking out right about, I'd say here, straight on out in the Galapagos. As far as you can go, maybe a little bit sooner than that. There's Manta, and then my beach would be over here on the left, kind of circling where it me. So I've left it a little bit down on the coast. So what I'm trying to do is just show you where kind of give you a 360 view of where I'm going. And I'll just do a little paddling so you can see what it's like. The waves are very calm today. It's very flat, easy, good kayaking. Next time I'll put the camera. I'll take the life jacket, open it, put my camera on my vest. I should have got it a couple inches lower. I think this life jacket made it too high. It should have been about 3 or 4 inches lower. It would have been a much better view. But you can see moving pretty well. And that's pretty much kayaking 101. Just paddle in, paddle out. And I do two kinds of strokes. A deep stroke where I go really hard, and I do a light stroke where I kind of just skim the surface, but I do it quicker. So I'm kind of in the middle right here. The only way to get better at this is to just keep stroking. As they say, do seek time. So there are days when the waves are considerable. You're going up and down peaks and valleys. This is beautifully flat kayaking seas. We had a benefit of some overcast, not much sun, so it wasn't extremely hot, and yet I had to get myself cool by throwing water on me several times because it is humid down there. And this is about done. I've got a third one I tacked on this one, which is me landing, which was uneventful, but I want you to see that. So now I've got the helmet on. It's on over my floppy hat, and I'm watching back and forth, left and right, to see if there's any waves forming. This is very unusual. There's virtually no surf at all. But this is the time of the year. The rainy season's come and gone. The seas are very calm. And there's a group of guys on the right I'm about to pass that are in the surf. I'm not sure they should have been there. They're probably going to get kicked out by the police. They won't allow you more than one person on the beach. So now I'm looking behind me. I'm looking to the left, looking to the right. If there's a wave had formed, I would have stopped and judged where it was, and probably tried to ride it in. I'm on the kayak left or right broach. But because there's no waves, I'm just going to paddle all the way in. You'll see I step it up in a few minutes. I really start paddling because I don't want to get trapped with a wave coming on me fast and not be prepared. So landing is always fun. Usually you have to ride a wave in. Today it was very flat. This is what I thought would happen when I launched, but that one wave knocked me back. But here there's nothing. No waves at all. Very unusual. So now I think these guys are on the right. You can't really see them, but I start really hoofing it here. So I figure, okay, we're almost to shore. The water here can't be more than 10 feet deep, if that. Well, there's those guys on the right. You see them just barely. And I start really, there we go, I start picking it up. Let's get on in, man, because I felt the waves behind me. Matter of fact, I heard one cresting. And I popped out the last minute, because now I was like waist deep. And I didn't want to have some wave come up behind me and smash you, which they've done. I figured I heard it behind me, so I just pop out and grab the bow so it doesn't. Here it comes, and now I walk it on in. That backrest there is a bit of lifesaver. I bought that up in Connecticut. I had not ever used one before. It's really, really good. There you go. And that beach is where I launch. My house is on the left-hand side of the street a little bit. And I get my white PVC carrier and I put it back on the carrier and off we go. I attach it, tie it down, and here's the oar, which is hanging in the water. It's attached to the kayak. I just let it float. And I'm pulling it out by the bow. So landed, no problem, no waves, no tip over, no nothing, no big deal. And then I'll pack everything up and put it on that little kayak carrier and walk it up the beach. And that's it, man.